Will I ever see you again?
I'll call you the next time I pass through your star system.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the Star Trek actors. Where are they now?
I'm going up into space. I don't know how many people can say that.
For this list, we'll be looking at actors across the Star Trek universe and discussing what they've been doing outside of Trek. We'll only be including actors who are still alive, so the likes of Leonard Nimoy and others will be excluded. Who's your favorite Star Trek character? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Michael Dorn, Worf.
Lieutenant Worf of the Klingon Empire is my head of security.
As Worf, son of Moog, Dorn appeared in 277 episodes of The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, as well as 5 films, a franchise record.
You are an insulting, pompous fool. And if you were not an ambassador, I would disembowel you right here.
He's also kept very busy outside of Star Trek. As a voice actor, he's contributed his talents to shows like Adventure Time, the Ben 10 franchise, and Family Guy.
Commander Worf's head looks like a fanny.
You can both suck my riches.
He's also an avid aviator who's flown with the demonstration squadrons Blue Angels and Thunderbirds.
That is a joke. I get it. It is not funny, but I get it.
You'll also catch him reprising his role as Worf on Star Trek Picard Season 3. Number 19, Jennifer Lean, Kes.
It's time for me to leave Voyager. Oh, Kes. Something important is happening to me, and I want to explore it.
After exiting Star Trek Voyager at the start of Season 4 due to personal issues, Lean reprised her role as Kes for one episode in Season 6. She retired from acting completely in 2002 when her son was born.
I can't keep going.
I will attempt a mind meld to help you delay the transformation.
That didn't keep her out of the hearts and minds of fans, however, and she's attended several fan conventions. In the late 2010s, her name popped up several times in news reports due to run-ins with the law.
Everybody thinks that what's happening is a medical condition. That's not it at all.
In 2017, she was arrested after allegedly driving erratically under the influence and spitting on a police officer. With no social media presence, we can only assume she's retreated from public life. Number 18, Colm Meaney, Miles O'Brien.
Scalloped potatoes, mutton shanks, oxtails and cabbage.
Kind of heavy.
Oh, you'll love it, I promise.
This Irish actor's humble beginnings on Star Trek The Next Generation led to a full-time gig on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, playing Miles O'Brien.
They were dry as a bone when I came by for you yesterday. I mean, I gave them water. I just don't think it was enough.
You watered them? These are Idrin hybrids. Too much water rots their roots.
In the years since, it's clear that he's found plenty of other work to keep himself busy. He's appeared in numerous films such as Layer Cake and The Journey and has had several memorable TV roles.
I've known for some time that Atlantis survived the Wraith attack, Colonel Shepard. I hope you will accept it as an act of good faith.
These include a starring role on AMC's Hell on Wheels, a recurring role as Chief Cohen on Stargate Atlantis, and as Shelley Kelly on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Shimon Gahar Moharapin. Nilin Irna Lashinovic. She the Harapin. Dar.
Number 17, Tim Russ, Tuvok.
What about you guys? We ain't found
When an actor becomes synonymous with a particular role, it's easy to forget and sometimes ignore their other work.
Excuse me a minute.
Tim Russ had already had roles in both TNG and DS9 before his time playing Tuvok on Star Trek Voyager.
During my 3 years on Voyager, I have grown to respect a great many of you. Others, I have learned to tolerate.
When Voyager ended, his acting work kept on rolling. In fact, younger, non-Trek fans might only know him best as Principal Ted Franklin on the show iCarly.
We don't need to call her brother in about this. I'm sure that you can come up with a suitable punishment.
Russ continues to be active as an actor, especially in TV and as a voice actor in video games. During his time off, you might catch him at a convention or playing a gig with his band Tim Russ Crew. Number 16, John Delancey, Q. John Delancey's role as the omnipotent Q has survived numerous iterations of Trek, from TNG to Picard.
Stop this foolishness, Q. Return me to the Enterprise.
I suggest you change your attitude. Petulance does not become you. We have business, Picard.
Since he played such a memorable character, fans may always see him as Q, but his filmography is extensive.
Wayfarer 515, traffic 3 o'clock, King Air, turn left, heading 085. Sierra Alpha, Alpha Contact Albuquerque Center 13.
He's had roles on TV shows like Stargate SG-1, Breaking Bad, and Torchwood, and he's voiced numerous animated characters such as Discord and My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
You'll never get away with this, Discord.
Oh, I'd forgotten how grim you can be, Celestia. It's really quite boring.
You may also recognize his voice in video game franchises like Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty.
The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe.
When he's not acting, you'll find him advocating for secularism, performing as narrator for various orchestras, and even writing symphonic plays. Number 15, Cirroc Lofton, Jake Sisko.
Jake, where's that compensator?
It's not here!
As a young teenager, Cirroc Lofton portrayed Jake Sisko on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
No! He was gone.
When the show ended, Lofton had bit parts here and there, with roles in The Hoop Life and Soul Food, but ultimately decided to retire from acting in 2008. In 2010, he opened a restaurant in Culver City, California called Cafe Cirroc, which has since closed down. Lofton returned to acting in 2017 with Star Trek fan projects, and has since had a handful of roles such as on Days of Our Lives and The Baby Pact.
Seems reasonable.
He can also be watched on his podcast, The Seventh Rule, a Star Trek podcast, where he reviews both old and new episodes of Star Trek with actor and producer Ryan T. Husk.
Sadler was telling him why he had to bend and break rules in order to get, an ends to a mean, for example. And now we see Bashir breaking the rules.
Number 14, Armin Shimmerman, Quark.
What's your read, Stan?
You're close. You're on the green. You just have to go for the cup.
Like many of the actors on this list, Armin Shimmerman's credits go well beyond his time as the Ferengi bar owner Quark on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
We have suffered great losses in ships, lands, warriors.
War. What is it good for? If you ask me, absolutely nothing.
He's continued to work steadily, finding roles in both television and film, and joined several Star Trek alumni on Boston Legal, including his DS9 co-star Renee Auberjonois.
You're profiteering off my wife's death. If you came in here looking for my sympathies.
Only your cooperation.
He's also found the time to publish 5 books and appear on stage in The Play That Goes Wrong. If, however, you're looking for a Quark fix, you can catch him reprising his famous role along with his DS9 co-star Nana Visitor on a Season 3 episode of Star Trek Lower Decks.
And somehow I remain humble.
What are you talking about? Can't people just replicate drinks?
None of your outdated Starfleet replicators can make what I have to offer.
Number 13, Wil Wheaton, Wesley Crusher. These days, many modern viewers might be more familiar with Wil Wheaton on The Big Bang Theory than as Wesley Crusher on Star Trek The Next Generation.
Perimeter alert, Captain.
Wesley, I'm sorry.
Wes, you shouldn't have touched
Get off the bridge. Both of you.
But annoying Sheldon Cooper isn't the only thing he's been doing since his TNG days.
Potion of Xancor.
What are you waiting for?
An avid card and board game player, Wheaton spent several years playing various poker tournaments, along with launching the web show Tabletop.
I have dealt with enough shrieking geeks in my life that I just want to see the shrieking geek destroyed.
He's also a prolific voice actor and narrator, having lent his voice to audiobooks, video games, and animated shows. He continues to write and narrate, along with hosting the Star Trek-related web show The Ready Room, where he interviews cast members from various parts of the Star Trek universe.
Are you close to Anthony and Wilson in real life?
We call them dads.
They are like our dads.
Number 12, Gates McFadden, Beverly Crusher. Fun fact, McFadden uses her middle name Gates when credited as an actress, and her first name Cheryl for her work as a choreographer. Star Trek fans know her as Beverly Crusher from Star Trek The Next Generation. Although she's had a handful of roles since her earlier Star Trek work, most of Gates' time has been spent in other areas.
You either need a new uniform or a new neck.
Eugene Chefor. My collar size is exactly as it was at the Academy.
A lover of the theater, McFadden brought her talents to the Ensemble Studio Theater as artistic director.
Try this.
She also started appearing at conventions from 2014 on. She'll be returning with the rest of her TNG castmates in Season 3 of Star Trek Picard, and plans to launch a Star Trek-themed podcast.
Jean-Luc, trust no one.
Number 11, Whoopi Goldberg, Guinan. Do we even need to tell you what Whoopi Goldberg has been doing these days? She was already a high-profile actress when she started appearing on Star Trek The Next Generation.
From what I'm told, they swarmed through our system. And when they left, there was little or nothing left.
Since then, she's amassed a considerable filmography and become known as a co-host on The View.
It's a place I've tried very, very hard to forget.
She's also hosted the Academy Awards 4 times and has published 7 children's books. In 2020, Patrick Stewart appeared on her show and asked her to reprise her role of Guinan in Season 2 of Star Trek Picard. She appeared in 2 episodes.
And I also want to thank you for setting me straight.
Beyond her screen work, Goldberg has also launched lines of medical cannabis products. Number 10, Dwight Schultz, Reg Barkley.
What are you doing?
I'm shaving. Come on, haven't you ever seen a man shave in the morning?
Thanks to his portrayal of H.M. Howling Mad Murdoch, fans of the A-Team were already familiar with Dwight Schultz when he was introduced as engineer Reginald Endicott Barclay III in The Next Generation.
We could use a hand, Mr. Barclay.
I'll disassemble it later, Commander. It shouldn't do that.
These roles arguably remain his best known. For fans of animation and video games, however, Schultz continues to be a familiar voice.
Computer, redirect the wormhole's trajectory to Delta Quadrant, Grid 11, Sector 64238, and retransmit the message.
He's a prolific voice actor, be it on Marvel, DC, Lego, or other projects. His work includes a notable role as Dr. Animo in the Ben 10 series.
Behold the genius that is Dr. Animo!
He can be seen at the occasional fan conventions alongside some of his previous co-stars. Number 9. Jonathan Frakes, William Riker. The Next Generation fans know him as William Riker, but among his peers, he's become even more renowned for his time behind the camera.
Eternity never looked so lovely.
Excuse me?
I was referring to the view Eternity.
Sure, he's continued to work as an actor since his time with the Next Gen crew, and yes, he even reprised his role on Picard in Lower Decks.
I'm prepared to be escorted out of Federation space.
That won't be necessary.
Really, it's no trouble at all.
However, he's also become quite a prolific director, especially for TV. His credits include episodes for Burn Notice, The Librarians, The Orville, Star Trek Discovery, Picard, and many more.
Time to use the briar patch the way Brer Rabbit did.
One thing's for sure, this trombone-playing fan favorite is kept very busy.
Is that supposed to be a question? Because if you were asking me if I liked what you were playing, then the answer is yes.
Number 8. Brent Spiner, Data. Starting with The Next Generation, Brent Spiner has appeared in a slew of Star Trek shows and films, playing Data, Data's brothers, his creator, and even his creator's son and ancestors.
In the game of military brinksmanship, individual physical prowess is less important than the perception of a species as a whole.
With as much range as the actor has, it's no surprise he's continued to appear in countless films and TV roles.
Captain, do you regret sacrificing your life for Soji and her people?
Not for an instant.
Then why would you imagine I regret sacrificing mine for yours?
Shows like Outcast, Warehouse 13, and more recently Penny Dreadful's City of Angels have shown his talents go far beyond the androids and Soongs of Star Trek.
This gets out. We're looking at a damn race war.
He even popped up on The Big Bang Theory alongside Wil Wheaton.
Brent Spiner, what have you done? That was an original Minton package Wesley Crusher action figure, signed by my close personal friend Wil Wheaton.
Sorry, Slim. I've got some Mr. Data dolls in the trunk of my car. You want me to sign one for you?
He's also quite a singer, having released a radio show / musical titled Dreamland with Maud Maggart.
It's time for everyone you know to know you love me.
Between writing, acting, singing, and conventions, there's no keeping this talent down. Number 7. Robert Picardo, the Doctor. Robert Picardo's time on Star Trek Voyager is just one chapter in his impressive career.
We may be stuck with you for a while, Doc. There's no need for concern. I am capable of treating any injury or disease. No concussion, you'll be fine.
From the Stargate franchise to The Mentalist and beyond, Picardo's versatility extends beyond his role as the ship's doctor.
No amount of camouflage is going to disguise who I am or what I'm doing here.
With over 50 credits in TV and voiceover work since Voyager, Picardo hasn't limited himself to the genre that made him famous.
He scattered clues around the world in the hopes that whatever controls you wouldn't wind up in the wrong hands. One of those clues is here.
He's appeared in everything from CSI to Smallville and The Orville.
The important thing is to stay busy.
Whether through drama, comedy, or animation, he continues to showcase his considerable talents. He's also on the board of directors of the nonprofit organization, the Planetary Society.
People across the globe, spanning generations, continue to be moved by Star Trek's optimistic vision of what we could become.
Number 6. Scott Bakula, Jonathan Archer.
Sir, it wasn't us, Trip. We didn't do it.
Long before he captained the Enterprise, sci-fi fans knew Scott Bakula as Sam Beckett on the original Quantum Leap.
Hell's alive. And he's coming home.
Since his time on these shows, he's continued working steadily in film and television.
Hi. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Just a little something from our garden.
Except for the pasta, we got that at Falacci's.
Right. It's unbelievably fresh.
A dedicated family man, he's striven to balance work and quality time with his wife and children, while also racking up an incredible list of credits.
I never thought this was possible either. But I traveled through time.
They include roles on TV shows such as Chuck, Men of a Certain Age, Desperate Housewives, Looking, and NCIS New Orleans, on which he also produced. Number 5. Jeri Ryan, 7 of 9.
The proximity transceiver in my cranial implant has been activated. That could indicate a Borg presence nearby.
Brought in to replace the aforementioned Jennifer Lean, Jeri Ryan's portrayal of 7 of 9 helped the show boost its ratings and bring fresh ideas into the storytelling.
Simple thank you would suffice.
When the show ended, Ryan continued her work in television. Boston Public, Shark, Leverage, and Body of Proof showed how versatile she is as an actress.
Pulling something's too risky.
You help me clean out Ford, you earn 5%.
10%.
A huge lover of cooking, Ryan also worked part-time in the kitchen of a restaurant called The House. Her passion for food led her to her now-husband, French chef Christophe Aimé. She's also reprised her iconic role on Picard.
So, what does that mean? Oh my God, Robbie, let it breathe.
Number 4. Avery Brooks, Benjamin Sisko. Sci-fi fans know Avery Brooks from his time as Captain Benjamin Sisko on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
I will ask you one last time. Release that ship immediately.
We are your allies.
Major, lock phases on M-Char's engines. Prepare to fire on my command.
But his career had already been kicked into high gear with his role as Hawk on the 1980s crime drama Spencer for Hire, and later the spin-off, A Man Called Hawk.
Back off, Spencer. I can't. You mean you won't? No, I won't. Over my head.
Since those days, he seemed to have left TV acting behind him. He has, however, appeared in several plays and narrated quite a few documentaries. A music lover, in 2009, he also released an album of jazz and blue cover tunes.
Danny's not my responsibility, you know? What do you expect me to do with that? It doesn't help me. Am I supposed to feel guilty?
I don't want you to do anything. I need to know the truth about how you feel.
Number 3. George Takei, Hikaru Sulu. George Takei is widely recognized for both his role as Hikaru Sulu in the original Star Trek series and films, as well as his activism for the LGBT community.
What is this, Mr. Sulu? Mr. Spock has orders to kill you, Captain. He will succeed. Apparently.
While still active on screen, having appeared in series like Heroes and several reality shows, Takei's recent years have been focused on causes and politics. That's included raising awareness for National Coming Out Day and supporting the rights of immigrants.
We slept in a stall. Each family was assigned a narrow, smelly stall. It still had the stink of horse manure.
In the 2010s, he starred in a musical, Allegiance, inspired by his experience in U.S.-run internment camps during World War II, and published an autobiography, They Called Us Enemy, on the same topic.
If we don't educate our fellow Americans to the vulnerability of our democracy, how fragile it can be, then we're not being responsible citizens.
He's also known for his humorous presence on Facebook, where he frequently posts memes.
May the great bird of the galaxy bless your planet.
Number 2. Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard.
As Captain Jean-Luc Picard once said, the line must be drawn here.
Before he became Picard, Stewart was a Shakespearean stage actor. His role as the captain of the Enterprise on The Next Generation made him a star and launched a long and storied career on screen.
Commander Tomaluk, as I'm sure you already know, we were responding to warnings of Romulan incursions at Nelvana 3.
Since then, his roles have run the gamut from Captain Ahab and Moby Dick to CIA Deputy Director Avery Bullock on American Dad. He's also well known for his portrayal of Professor Charles Xavier in the X-Men films.
Why do you come here, Charles?
Why do you ask questions to which you already know the answers?
Yes. Your continuing search for hope.
Yet acting isn't his only passion. A car enthusiast, Stewart can be seen observing the British Grand Prix from time to time.
How did you find the car?
Ordinary.
You can catch him reprising his most famous role in the Paramount Plus series, Star Trek Picard.
If we wanted to destroy you, Sochi, we would have joined forces with the Romulans. We would be training our phases on you right now. We aren't.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. William Shatner, James T. Kirk.
I've just lost a crewman, Mrs. Crater. I want to know what happened.
While fans will always see William Shatner as Captain Kirk, he's had a varied career beyond Star Trek.
I'm William Shatner. Tonight, true stories of caring people who make a difference on Rescue 911.
His most notable shows outside of the original series include T.J. Hooker, Rescue 911, and Boston Legal.
Well, arrest the husband because A, Denny Crane wants you to.
He's also had a long career as a recording artist, releasing almost a dozen albums, performing dramatic recitations of lyrics from popular bands. An avid lover of horses, Shatner has an estate in rural Kentucky where he breeds and shows American saddlebreds and quarter horses. Oh yeah, and he's actually flown to space now thanks to Blue Origin. To the delight of Star Trek fans, he also continues to make convention appearances around the world.
The needs of the many outweigh
the needs of the few.
Or the one.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.